Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I welcome you to the next session of the Linux lecture series. Today we are going to talk about task scheduling. Okay. By task scheduling, I mean as a system administrator or maybe as a regular user, you may like to schedule or execute some process or command or maybe a script automatically at a specific time. And this may be a one-time execution at a specific date or time. If you want to execute it once only, you may use the at or the batch utility of Unix. And if it is a recurring execution, for example, you may like to execute it every minute or every hour, maybe daily or weekly or monthly, you should preferably use the cron or the anacron utility. Today we are going to talk in detail about cron. So let me briefly give you an overview of the rest. Let's first see what is the difference between the at and the batch utility. If you're using at, you need to give a time, and at that specific time at will execute that job, and that is it. In case of batch, you do not specify the time. The job which needs to be scheduled using the batch command are executed whenever the system load drops below 80%. And if you are working on a standalone machine where system load is normally below 80% most of the time, batch would run the scheduled event even within next 1 minute. On the contrary, if you want that the jobs or the tasks you want to schedule should be executed on a recurring basis, you use cron or anacron. One main difference between the cron and the anacron are the granularity level, the minimum granularity level. The minimum granularity level of cron is 1 minute, while that of anacron is 1 day. Using cron, you can execute a job every minute. Another difference is that anacron is normally managed by the root user, and this by regular users as well. There is a workaround, but this is one difference. Then cron expects that the system must be up and running 24/7. If the system is down and the cron is to execute a job, the cron will not execute that job. On the contrary, anacron will execute the job which was to be executed at a specific time, and at that time the system was down, and whenever the system is booted up again after some time or some days or some months, the anacron will check out that during that duration if the cron utility has missed a job to be executed, it will run that for you. So let's start playing, and let's see on a terminal that how we can use cron for executing and scheduling jobs. Okay, so let me open this. Why? First of all, gentlemen, there is a daemon that is known as the cron daemon that is responsible to manage the cron jobs. And if you want to see the daemons running on your system, you can use the ps command with AJX saying that I want to see the processes of all the users A, and J means show some additional information like the session ID, the terminal as well, and X says show processes that do not have a controlling terminal. So if I press enter, you can see all of. Let me put a head over here. Okay, so you see these are the first 9 or 10 jobs which are running, and the first is spin init having a PID of 1. This column shows you the controlling terminal, and we all know that a daemon is normally a long-lived process often created at the system startup and runs until the system is shut down. And another characteristic of a daemon is that it runs in the background and has no controlling terminal. So you can see that there is no controlling terminal of these. So I want to see whether cron is running or not. Let me grab cron. Yes, cron is running. So this is the line for the cron. S-bin user USR S-bin cron. Cron is running, and we all know that the location of cron is USR S-bin, and of course only sudo can check it. It's only in the path of sudo. Okay, so if you do not see this, there are two possibilities. One is that you haven't installed cron on your system. So let's install cron using sudo apt get install cron. So you give this command and it will install cron on your system. Since I have already, so it says that cron is already the newest version, which is 3.0 something. If it is installed, you must ensure that it should be running, and if you want to check out what all services are running like right now on your machine, you can use the command service, and you can give it the option status. So these are the services which are there, and the services with the plus sign means they are running, and with the minus sign means they are not running. And we are interested in cron. We are interested in cron only. So let's see whether cron is running or not. Cron is not running. Yes, cron is running. Anacron is not running. So this shows that cron is running. And if cron is not running, you need to run it. And if you need to run it, if you see a minus sign over here, then you need to use another command, system5-rc-conf, which can be run by sudo only. So let me check out -list. So if I press enter, it will show me all the services which are running on my machine at different run levels. I'm just interested in the cron. So it says that cron is running on run level 2, 3, 4 as well as on 5. Suppose if it was off, you can on it by using the same command, system5-rc-conf, and you can say --level. Let me make it off at run level 2. I don't need it at run level 2. And let me check again. Now you can see the cron is off at run level 2. If you do not have any fair idea about the run level, sometimes later I will of course upload a video on managing system services at different run levels, and you will be able to understand that. But right now you should know that how you can check out that what all daemons are running on your system and what all daemons are installed, and if a daemon is not running but installed, how can you make it run at a particular run level. So fine, so cron is running. So let me find out what actually cron do. So this is a man page of cron. A daemon to execute scheduled commands. Cron is started automatically from @cinit.d on entering multi-user run levels. So it is running. We have seen it. So let me see what it actually do. Let me read this paragraph for you. Cron searches its spool area, val, spool, cron tab. So it searches this place. Let me go to this place. Let me do ls to var spool, and inside that I have cron and cron tabs. Okay. So in this directory var spool cron tabs, there are three files, Arif, Rauf and root. Let me do ls-l to this. If I do ls-l to this, you can see these are the three files which are there in this directory. So cron searches for these files which are named after the counts in etc passwd, of course, and cron tabs found are loaded into memory. So the contents of these files are loaded into memory by cron, and then cron checks that every minute or every hour or every day of the week or every month, or to be general, at a specific time, if there is a job in these files to be executed. If there is, it executes its jobs, and if there is not, it doesn't. So let me see the contents of these files now. Let me cat it. Since I am Arif, so I can of course cat my own file. Spool, cron tabs, and Arif. Okay. Basically, cat cannot do this. There are other programs which can do this, and the programs are cron tab -e. So these programs can, but we will talk about these later. Let me do sudo, and then I say cat, and of course I can see that. So in this file you can see this line. This is a very critical line in this file, and this line shows you 5 values which are right now asterisks over here, and then a command, and then some IO redirection. So these cron tab files of every user normally have 4 different types of lines. The lines starting with the hash sign are the comments lines, and there may be blank lines over here as well, and then there may be some lines which have the name of an environment variable, like you can see mail2 is an environment variable, and it is assigned a value over here. And the most important line is this, which is highlighted in front of you right now. These first 5 fields tell you the date and the time at which this command needs to be executed. By the stroke of luck, this is the date command. This can be a different command as well. So these 5 values specify the time at which these should be executed. Now let me come on the board and try to explain you a bit about yes. So this is the format. This is the format of that file. The first 5 asterisks you can see. Let me take some colors. Let me take white. Okay, so these are the 5 asterisks. The first asterisk is the minute. So this is the minute. The second is the hour. The third is the date of the month. The fourth is the month actually. And finally we have the day of the week. So you specify these 5 values, and these 5 values tell you at what time this command or this task or maybe this script file needs to be executed. The minute value should range from 0 to 59, remember. The hour value is from 0 to 23, 24 hours clock, military time. Then the day of the month, that is the date actually, which can range from 1 to 31, of course. Then we have month, 1 to 12. 1 is of course January. And then day of the week, 0 to 6, and 0 means Sunday, and so on. And of course 6 means Saturday. Before we put an entry in our cron tab file, let's see some examples. These are some examples. Remember, this is example 1, example 2, example 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 8 different entries which you can put inside the cron tab file of yours. This first entry, this says execute this task, this command, or the commands inside this script file, if this is a file name, every minute, every hour, every day of the month, and every day of the week. That means this will be executed every minute. Let me talk about this now. This says that execute this task at 15:30 or 3:30 p.m. on the 5th of every month. This 5 says the day of the month, 5th of every month. While this says 15:30 or 3:30 p.m. 5th of every month and on every Tuesday. And this says, this slash is every 5th minute, suppose, over here. So this will be executed every 5th minute, and this will be executed every 2nd hour. Let's see some more examples. Let's talk about this one. So you can have commas over here. We have seen slash, now you see comma. This says that at 125 and at 150, 125 and 150, every 15th of every month. So this task will be executed at 1:25 a.m. and 1:50 a.m. 15th of every month. Similarly, if I talk about this says 5:15 a.m. from 1st to 15th of every month. So this way, gentlemen, you can add on the entries inside your cron tab file. Let's start entering some entries inside our file. Well, of course, you can think of using spool, cron tabs, and Arif. You can edit your cron tab file like this using some editor, but normally you should not do like this. You should use a utility that is known as cron tab. So let me do man cron tab. So cron tab maintains cron tab files for individual users. You can make an entry in that file using -e option. You can list that file using -l option. You can remove that file using -r option. So let me read this para out for you. Cron tab is a program used to install, deinstall, or list the tables used to drive the cron daemon. Which user can have their own cron tab, and through these are the files in var, spool, cron tabs. They are not intended to be edited directly, so you should not edit them directly. So let me do cron tab -l. So this is right now the list of my cron table entries. If you see the last entry, this says execute this task every minute. That is, execute this task date and write down the date in this directory. So that means if this is running, so 13604. So last entry in this file must be 136. So let me do cat home Arif cron date.txt. So you see the last entry is 13601. So after every minute, the latest date is entered inside this cron tab -l. Once again, you can see that. Let me put another entry in this, and for that let me check out the name of this terminal is div pts3. I'm doing hello world thing. So let me write something over here using cron job. I say cron tab hyphen E to edit. Once I do this, it opens up the cron tab file in the default editor of my shell. And the default editor of my shell is nano. And let's suppose I do not know nano. So let me exit and let me change it. Let me change my default editor. And let me say that please make the default editor of mine to Vim. I like Vim. USR bin Vim. Okay. USR bin Vim. So let this editor be my default editor. And now I do cron tab hyphen E, and you see that this time it is there in the Vim, my favorite one. Let me come to insert mode and let me put an entry over here. Let me say do this task every minute. Suppose that be simple. And what I do is I say echo learning Linux is fun with Arif. But and let me redirect this to the output to div pts3 and let me save and exit, and it says cron tab installing new cron tab, and right now it is 138.22. so at 139 something will be printed over here, of course, if I have entered the entry correctly. Cron tab hyphen L, you can see the entry is there over here. If I say date, so there are just 10 seconds probably which are left for something to be printed over here. I am not typing anything. You can just observe that an entire line will be there in front of you very soon. Okay, fine. So this is it. So as soon as the time was 139, this was printed over here, and this will be printed over here every minute. So gentlemen, using cron tab you can delete your cron tab entries. I can always delete my cron tab entry by saying cron tab hyphen R. So this will remove the cron tab file. Of course, I can again create a new cron tab file using hyphen E. If you are user, you can edit, or you can delete, or you can list the cron tab entries of other users by using the hyphen U option. Let's suppose Kakamana is a user, and let's suppose I am root and I want to edit the cron tab entries of Kakamana. I can use this hyphen U option. Right, gentlemen. One more thing, that please do not think that one can only write some date in a file, or one can only echo something on the terminal. You can do good jobs with cron, like cleaning temporary files every week, for example. Normally system administrator do need such tasks to be performed every week. You may deactivate, or you may like to delete users whose account have expired. You may like to check the quotas of different users on your system, whether they are within their quotas or they are exceeding it. You may like to automatically send an email to yourself or to someone else for a reminder, and you may like to back up files in your home directory every week or every 10 days to some other external medium or to some other directory. So you can do that as well, and for that this mail2 is the variable which you must configure for that. Other than the cron tab entries, the main configuration file I would like to touch upon is the cron tab itself. Let me man cron tab. This is the command. Let me do man 5 cron tab. Yes, so this is the cron tab file. This is the main configuration file of the cron entry. Let me cat it if I can. Yes, I can. So this is the main cron tab file, which contains a lot of entries you can see over here. Let me shrink it a bit. Okay, let me shrink so that it can come in one line. Yes, it has come in one line. uh, if you can see this, this is a line which says that execute every 17th minute as user root a command that is, suppose, run parts. And run parts is a command that executes all the commands inside a directory. So to be very simple, I can say that at every 17th minute of every hour, I mean to say, in the morning at 12:17, then at 1:17, then at 2:17, and so on, all the commands inside this directory at cron.rly will be executed. And run parts is a command that can execute all the commands inside a directory. Let me man it for you. Man run parts. Run parts run scripts or program in a directory. Run part runs all the executable files named within constraints described below, and you can read the constraints later on. And this says at 6:25 every day you should execute all the commands in this file cron.daily, and at 6:47 every seventh day. Every seventh day means 0 is that Sunday. That means Sunday. 0 or 7 means Sunday. So this is weekly, and this on every first of every month at 6:52 monthly. So there are 4 directories: cron.rly, cron.daily, cron.weekly, cron.monthly. Let me do something like this. ls at cron asterisk. Let me. Okay, now let me clear screen. Give the command again. Okay. So there are some files I would like to show you. I have given this command. There is a file cron.daily, directory cron.daily. There is a directory cron.d. So cron.d is a directory which contains scripts or programs that should be executed every minute. So these are the scripts which must be executed every minute. So the root has placed these scripts inside cron.d. At cron.daily is a directory which contains scripts which must be executed every day. So these scripts will be executed every day. Cron.rly is the directory which contains scripts that should be executed every hour, and it does not contain anything. Cron.monthly contains the scripts which should be executed every month, and cron.weekly contains scripts which should be executed every week. Fine. So coming back over here. Okay, over here. Let me do again sudo So now I think you have understood that these entries inside the cron tab file at cron tab file also contains path to certain directories cron.rly, daily, weekly, and monthly, and at these times the commands inside these directories will be executed. So whenever as root you want that there are some commands that should be executed every day, every week, every month, you should place those commands or those scripts inside these directories. Finally, the last thing, there are 2 files, cron.deny and cron.allow. It also has to be there. Let me do ls-l at c, and let me grab cron.allow. It is not there. Cron.deny is there. So there are two more configuration files. One is cron.allow and the other is cron.deny. And what does they mean? You can read the cron tab for this. Yes, it is here. So cron.allow and cron.deny basically together tells you who all can run the cron jobs. If you want most of the people to be denied, you write down cron.allow and put the names of those users who you want the permission to execute the cron jobs. Rest everyone will not be allowed to execute jobs. Or you can create the cron.deny file and put the names of those users who you want to deny cron jobs. Rest everybody will be allowed to execute cron jobs. And if none of these files exist, in that case, only root can execute the cron jobs. And if both these files exist, then cron.deny is ignored. Right, gentlemen, that is all what I wanted to say. So let me sum up again. We have done task scheduling. If you want to execute jobs once, you can use at or the batch command. And if you want to execute a job on recurring basis, for example, every minute, every hour, every day, weekly or monthly, you can use cron or anacron. And we have also talked about the main difference between at and the batch and cron and the anacron command. Hope this was informative, and I wish you all the best, and Allah Hafiz.